Everyone thinks Trump is crazy to want Canada, that he's insane to want Greenland or Venezuela. But Trump is actually acting in a very, very, very rational manner. You see, Trump has been informed that unless the United States, over the next few years, can double or triple its entire energy production, unless they can secure all the rare earth minerals and all the AI chips, they will lose the Cold War for artificial intelligence to China, which will make China the world's superpower for the next decades or centuries to come. And so what seems like Trump acting crazy is his very atypical manner in which he's trying to secure desperately all the pieces of the puzzle over the next few years to maintain the United States as the global leader. Now, we can disagree with the way he's going about it. You can believe there are better forms of achieving this in very little time. We could disagree with the idea of superpowers even existing, or you could prefer to want to be under a Chinese AI totalitarian state instead of an American one. But to continue to think that Trump is just being crazy and being a madman for trying to secure all the necessary parts to compete with China just displays our ignorance of the AI Cold War that is heating up.
So I've actually seen this coming for a while. I've been talking about this for at least a few years if you go through my channel. And I've been talking about it personally for a lot longer. I've just kind of seen this coming because how could it not come? We have these phones now, and when they made the printing press, the whole earth reorganized into constitutional republics, and it was crazy. Now that we have these phones, I don't know what the earth is reorganizing into, but it will certainly be different than what we have now. So I would just like to make the case that, because he explains things very well, they just make the case that we should want American dominance over Chinese dominance. So the Chinese are currently engaging in a genocide against the Uyghurs. The Chinese have a terrible record of being honest about their own history. The Chinese have a really dedicated record of genocide. Again, I'm just going to mention that. Very dedicated record of genocide. And they're great at religious persecution. They love engaging in religious persecution. And overall, I mean, if you look at the history of their civilization, they really are, they just manage things. They manage things that already exist. And sometimes that requires they kill hundreds of millions of people, and they don't really seem to have a problem with that. But they don't really create new ways of thinking the way the West does in terms of freedom, technology, phones, these sorts of things. So if you like the way things have been going, like specifically if you like the running water, the indoor electricity, the honest recording of our own history, like one of the interesting things about the Bible I find so fascinating is that the Hebrew Old Testament is one of the first instances of a people actually recording their own history honestly. Ancient Egypt had a huge problem with recording their own history honestly. They just refused to do it. Pharaoh would dictate what reality was. Pharaoh wasn't even the firstborn son of the previous pharaoh. He didn't die in the plague of the firstborn. Egypt was completely corrupt. But you'd never know it because they hid that corruption even from their own pharaoh. They didn't care. That's sort of how civilization works. That's how nepotism works. That's how despotism works. And no one does nepotistic despotism better than the Asian continent. Like, wow, they do nepotistic despotism as well or better than Pharaoh. So I'm just more interested in the civilization that has the long history of actually recording our mess ups rather than who knows what happened on the Asian landmass. Like, really, like, who knows? No one knows what happened in Africa. No one's even writing that stuff down. They're writing it down in China, but I don't think they're writing it down honestly. I mean, think about what it's taken. Rome was honest. Rome recorded the crucifixion of Jesus. They recorded that they did that. It's rare. It says in the Count of Monte Cristo, regimes seldom can stand to have the victims of their persecution see the light of day. I mean, at least we know the Spanish Inquisition happened. At least we recorded that. I have seen no evidence that China even accurately records their own atrocities.